1 lap to go, crossing the stripe. Next flag will end it, and it is not over. Your guess is as good as mine. I have to imagine Ben is going to make an attempt to make a move on this number 4. He's going to send it in there, run the higher line this time, maybe try to get some momentum down the backstretch. Loses some time there on entry. He's going to try and get a bigger run on the backstretch, but Bo with a 0.3 of a second gap between him and the 8, looking good for the 4. One more set of turns.
Yeah, he's in a good spot, 1/4 of a second. It's going to take something, either a mistake from the 4 or a miracle run here on this final set of turns from the 8, but Bo Tiffany looks like he's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, he sees the white, or the checkered flag, waving. Ben Park is in the wall. This thing is all Bo Tiffany's. He is a winner here, and SRN gets his first win in, well, I think he's been here for 3 or 4 seasons. This is an awesome moment. I know he is going to be ecstatic, even though he's not running for points. This means a lot for him. Yeah, a couple of Striker Motorsports trucks there on the outside. Brad Herman, Jose Castellanos, and Andrew Harris all trying to work together to break up this JW train up front. Doing a good job so far as we're coming back to the stripe to take the white flag. It's in the air as the JW trucks are bouncing off of one another.
It is a team battle. 3 teams now in the picture as we got Jonathan Byer Racing with 3 trucks now trying to close in on this lead pack. 3 wide through 1 and 2, and it is getting squirrely, but they're still holding it together.
Oh yeah, they get turned. Jose Castellanos goes, and Brad Herman left all on his own. A big wreck back there as all the JBR trucks are involved too. It's going to be really hard for the 85 to break this up, but he is still in contention as we hit down to turn 3.
He's got to make a big move, and he's got to make it happen at the last possible second to possibly sneak up on these guys. And that lap truck on the high line, that's Bobby Anderson. That might have cut a lot of opportunity there for Brad Herman. It's going to be side by side, 2 by 2 for JW Racing.
Well, who's going to win it for JW as Nick Hada and Lane Doyle are heading to the stripe? It's going to be Lane Doyle in the 47 machine. He is your winner here tonight at Speed Racing Network at Daytona. So we're going to see who does what, see if someone takes it 3 wide to get out in front. But so far, coming to the stripe to take the white flag, he's going to get it in hand and wave it out there. 1 lap to go.
Yeah, and there is no cushion right here. You got to be pushing that guy in front of you no matter what happens to your car or the guy in front of you. I mean, it is the last lap at Daytona.
Well, coming out of 2, Nathan Sylvia going to still have the lead, but Seth Reed gets a good push from Jacob Manning and Gerwitz and Markle out there. 4 cars to the outside, just 2 with the 24 of Taylor Smith trying to catch up. Seth Reed's going to clear Sylvia. That's going to give Jacob Manning a look to the outside. We'll see if that hurts Seth Reed or if the 81 can hang on. Coming out of 4, he's going to get a big push from Sylvia, who's all over the back bumper. I don't think anyone's going to have anything for him. Seth Reed is going to come away the winner here tonight at Daytona.
Wow, what a finish.
Still got a couple 100 feet before that white flag, but it is out, it is waving. They've taken it, this race official. Next flag will end it side by side, possibly 3 wide as they work their way through 1 and 2.
I think James Kerr just learned he has some teammates if he wants to do that. Bobby Anderson is willing to take that high line, but he's got to do it now to get the momentum all the way down the backstretch. He's going to bring that 18 Darrell Waltrip throwback up there with him. The 13 and the 18 making a big push. Bobby thinks otherwise. Drops back down to the second lane. He's going to try and move up behind Andrew Harris. He can't make up his mind. But the battle's out in front. Ryan Johnson controlling this thing. Michael Madden needing that big push from Andrew Harris.
It might be coming, but they're going to turn teammates each other. Ryan Johnson spinning to the apron, and that's going to leave it 3 wide open to the finish.
Michael Madden coming out on the dog leg. They're wrecking everywhere, but he is all clean. Michael Madden coming to the stripe. He is going to win it. Andrew Harris just behind him, and Jonathan Byer comes out of nowhere to get 3rd here tonight. Wow. And looking like he wants to get in on that win in action. Oh, he's going to put his nose to the outside of lane. I don't know if he's going to have that track position on the exit, but yeah, he's going to be there. We got a drag race down the backstretch.
Oh, I stand corrected. A huge move to the outside to try to open up that position, and the 48's going to get clear to the outside of turn 4 as we take white flag. 1 lap to go in Phoenix.
Wow, we did not expect to see that. Ryan Johnson living up to that 48 Johnson name. He makes it happen and just has 2 sets of turns to go to claim his first win in SRN and spoil Lane Doyle's day. Ryan Johnson comes down the backstretch, enters turn 3, sees the checkered flag is out in Barney's hand, and Ryan Johnson is going to be your winner at Phoenix tonight. Wow! Could be just trying him out, seeing if that move's going to work now, as you got Josh Marcy to the outside. That's going to kill the momentum, I think, a little bit of that 42, but nowhere for the 88 to go. He goes down low. He gets the look to the inside, heading into turn 3. It's a battle side by side for the lead.
He's got to pinch him more. He's got to pinch him down so the 88 can't slide up.
Yeah, he's going to come up. They're going to be real close on the exit of 4. Drag race door banging to the line. 1 lap to go. It's waving here in Fontana.
Now here's where Kazi needs to creep down and pinch the 88 down before they go into the corner.
Oh, they make contact.
Touching them.
They're going to wreck each other potentially here. They both keep it going.
They saved it.
Kazi hanging on to the lead. Looks like Tristan, though, might get a run out of turn 2. It's a drag race back down the backstretch.
That was close. Both of them, we could have had 2 leaders being taken out.
Here comes the bumper here. Yeah, he
turns him.
Yeah, he completely sends it in there. Turns the 42. Move Tristan Bailey up in the first. He's going to come away with it off the 4. Drew Ballesteros can't catch him. It's going to go to the 88. He wins here tonight.
It's going to be an interesting conversation.
I was just going to think, how aggressive of a block could we see from the 85 as we nearly see contact, and that's going to get them both out of shape to the apron, and this might set up perfectly for Kyle Ryan and the rest of the field.
Oh, wow, Brad goes down. He's going to try and dump these guys and maybe block their runs, but he doesn't do it. Kyle Ryan goes to the front of this thing. The 85 going to have to battle to the outside because we have 1 lap to go here in Motegi. Kyle Ryan gets a good run off of 2, possibly staring down his first ever win here in SRN.
Don't count out Bobby Anderson, Ryan Johnson as well. They've moved into the picture as we got to the nose to the inside from the 85. And just ahead of Kyle Ryan, it is going to be side by side coming out of 4.
Yeah, exiting 4. I don't know who's going to win this thing. It looks like the 85 gets a better run off in Brad Herman. It's a drag race to the finish line. The 85 wins a thriller here in Japan. Wow. Yeah, it's do or die for Kazi. He wants a win so bad, had it slip out of his grasp last week in Phoenix, possibly staring that same scenario down here tonight, coming out of turns 3 and 4. The white flag is in the air. Barney is going to wave it here. 1 lap to go on Speed Racing Network.
White flag lap 88 sent it off before, now diving underneath the 56. He might try to pull that slide job. Coming up, will he have the momentum though? Underneath the 24, makes contact, 56 loose.
56 loses it. It's going to lose some spots. It's down to Berger and Kazi for this win. I don't think Kazi's going to have this real estate to get this done. Berger staring down the flag man with the checkered flag in his hands. Flag is in the air, and it's going to be Seth Berger claiming his first win of 2022 Season 3 in SRN. Can we see another epic last lap pass by Ryan Johnson potentially? We'll find out as he's right on the bumper of this 85. 1 lap to go here in Atlanta. He's going to try and set up Brad Herman and get a run to the inside of him, I think, here. No, he's going to take the outside lane. I think he might have it. Brad shuts the door. He goes back to take a look to the outside. It's going to be a drag race to the finish. Who's going to get it?
Oh, he didn't have to be aggressive last week. He might have to be a little bit more aggressive this week. Big run to the outside.
Who's it going to be? Ryan Johnson, Brad Herman, bang doors. Ryan Johnson gets the win on an epic last lap pass again. This man is a man for theatrics here in SRN. Wow.
He's really saving. Really saving it. Andrew McGonigal, he's now just a second and a half, and it doesn't really look like the 94 is closing in big fashion. He's kind of fluctuating between 1 and 1.5, now just about 1.2 seconds behind. Could Andrew McGonigal come up or did the 78 just allow the 00 to get on by, get in his draft, and pull him to a win?
I don't know, but you got 2 turns to find out. That gap maintaining, losing a little bit because he's definitely lifting early on in the turns. That lead down to 1.0 seconds with 1 turn to go. Andrew McGonigal going to have to throw a Hail Mary if he's going to want to go ahead and catch the 78 of David Duke. But 78 of Duke rounds turn number 3, looks down the straightaway, and the starter has the checkered flag in his hands. Is he running out of fuel?
Go on!
Oh my God, David Duke wins it by 500s, running out of fuel. Well, that was awesome. I absolutely enjoyed putting that together, and it has been a great season to this point. Pete, which one of those stuck out the most to you?
Every single one of them. There wasn't a bad clip in the entire mix. Hell of a job there, Greg, to put that all together, and it looks like Robert Yost out there in chat completely agrees with you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, Pete, and it came at a perfect time because we had some broadcast gremlins show up, the old Windows update changing some settings here in Streamlabs. So if you were here off the top, you did not hear me or Pete, and it's probably a good thing you didn't because we both sounded like confused old men trying to figure this out. But week number 11, we are past the halfway point of the season, and it was, a really cool thing to put that top 10 together. A lot of great finishes, and I think I said to everybody there with that video that the David Duke one, my favorite. So let's go ahead and move on now to the Speed Racing Network point standings. And here in the Cup Series, Joseph Causey still at the top after his win last week at Auto Club. He had a dominating race where he led just about half of it, came away with the W and more points to his pocket. So Reese Schaefer still sitting there 11 points back of his Tank Racing teammate, and Ed Shearer rounds out the top 3. Timothy Latham, Seth Berger, all going to round out the top 5. Quite the standings we have here, that gap widening up a little bit there between Emerson Ardon and Jordan Sailors, Pete.
Yeah, Jordan Sailors and Emerson Ardon, just 19 points separating the two. I think Emerson Ardon, he's really improved quite a bit as the season has progressed. But I tell you what, I really want to see Reese Schaefer, as consistent as he's been, go on up and get into that win column so we can go ahead and add a sticker to his frame rail as well.
Yeah, it's kind of remarkable to see, Reese without a win sticker next to his name, just being slightly outshined by his Tank Racing teammates week in and week out. And those standings and results going to this right here, exactly why they have a 148-point lead over Gear Up Motorsports, with Phoenix Virtual Racing sitting there in third, 237 points back. Ohio Sim Racing there fourth, 317 back. Rat Pack Racing going to be in fifth with 342-point gap. And then Bobby Anderson going to round out the rest of the field here, 437 points back the lead. And there you see it, top 2 seeds going to get the first round bye. So Tank Racing, Gear Up in a good spot. 90 points back though. Or actually, if I do my math correctly, Pete, I think it's 111 points back. It's going to be Phoenix Virtual Racing. So that gap kind of big from the 2 to 3 seed here. But I don't think that battle is nearly over with 3 weeks left.
No, nowhere near over. Tank Racing took a pretty strong hold of these team championship standings, which continue to evolve as the season goes on. And Greg, they have not let up. They have not taken, their foot off the throttle per se since Daytona.
No, and so right now, yeah, like I said, the 3 would go against the 6. So that's Phoenix Virtual Racing going up against Bobby Anderson Racing, and Ohio Sim Racing going up against Rat Pack Racing. So those would be some exciting matchups in the first round. So a few teams dropping out of the standings here. Going to be only 6 teams going at it for that team championship. So 2.5 minutes before we get out there on the track for 120 laps here this evening at Las Vegas. Want to go ahead and give our sponsors a quick shout out. Silverback Tax Solutions going to have the green flag for us here. Sparkle and Shine Mobile Detailing, they have the Rec Replay. Butt Kicker going to come on board this season to sponsor the Hard Charger Award. And then TJ's Team Foundation over at morethanAcape.org sponsoring this year's winning moment in each race. So going ahead and checking out the Butt Kicker Hard Charger standings. Blair Holloman still atop the standings. Josh Siegfried there second. Bobby Anderson rounding out the top three. So these guys going for one of those Butt Kicker Gamer 2, Pete. And they are pretty nice pieces of equipment.
Yeah, absolutely, and I really can't wait to see at the end when all is said and done, all the laps are completed, all the points are tabulated, who is going to be able to go ahead and grab that very, very immersive piece of equipment that each and every one of them can really just connect to their rig to feel everything that happens.
Yeah, if you want to learn more about that piece of equipment, just go check them out at buttkicker.com. So let's go ahead and check out the Silverback Tax Solutions Power Rankings before we get out there on the track. At the top, Joseph Causey, led by Ed Shearer there in second, Timothy Latham in third, Seth Berger, Reese Schaefer rounding out the top five. I'm seeing a lot of tank racing here, and Timothy Latham just caught up in the mix, though. The top three, 2 wins, 5 top fives in each of their names.
Yeah, Greg, when we're not going through the field to show each driver just a little bit of love, these are the people that we're talking about closer to the lead, the head of the pack, week in and week out. No surprise, still seeing Joseph Causey up top.
Well, let's go ahead before we get out there, 30 seconds to go before qualifying is up, and give TJ's Team Foundation a quick shout out over at morethanAcape.org. Pete, we love talking about this foundation here on SRN.
Absolutely. Travis Anderson and TJ's team, all about his little boy TJ that unfortunately lost his battle to pediatric cancer several years back. The website is amazing. Most of everything that Travis Anderson does with this charity is word of mouth. You guys have seen all the St. Jude's commercials where no family has to pay for their mortgage, pay for food, pay for lodging, pay for anything like that. So all they got to do is worry about their sick little one. That's what Travis does as well, and we appreciate him for. Go on over, www.morethanAcape.org. Give if you can. You do get back. I want to make sure that you know that, but every penny is very much appreciated.
Yeah, either donate or just learn about them. It goes a very long way. So qualifying's over. We're out here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for week number 11 here in the SRN Cup Series. Pete, I don't know if you've ever been to Vegas, but man, I'm excited to be here. Let's go have some fun.
No, I've never been to Vegas or the Strip or anything like that in real life. Been here many times virtually, right along with you and many others. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing these guys, light the fires under these things. I believe we're going to have, 20... What do we got here? We got 29. Yep, 29 cars going to be on track, and I see you got our qualifying lineup.
Yeah, so on the pole, going to be Ed Shearer there, the 97 car. Seth Berger to his outside, row number 1. Matthew Greathouse, Brian McAvoy in row number 2. Michael Politis and Timothy Latham there, row number 3.
Yeah, Jeremy Little in his number 26 going to be starting P7 with Joseph Causey to his outside in P8. Jordan Sailors in P10 with Reese Schaefer. Going to see if he's going to be able to get it done tonight in P9. P11 is going to be Corey Saucier and Robert Norfleet to round out your top 12, Greg.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and move further down the list. Brad Herman, Justin Smith in row number 7. AJ Pritchett, Emerson Ardon, row number 8. Byron McDonald and Scott Kalal, row number 9. And Lane Hosler and David Duke going to round out that top 20. So let's go ahead, get down on the track. I believe we're going to see some cars gridding up here and getting ready to head out there, led by Ed Shearer and Seth Berger. So before we get going here tonight, Pete, who do you got?
Man, it's rough to go against my buddy Ed Shearer, but you know what? I'm gonna take that 17 of Reese Schaefer. I think tonight he makes up the spots that he needs to make up and grabs that first checker of the season, and he hits his hot streak tonight. What do you got?
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead, maybe take a little bit of a wild card here. I'm gonna go ahead and take Matthew Greathouse in this 51. We saw him qualify up front last week at Auto Club. He's back up front here again tonight at Las Vegas, and I think he's just getting ever so close to getting that first win on the season. So there you saw the admins tonight, Sean Griffith and Danny Dowell. Pace car lights are off for the one formation lap that we have before we go green. It's going to be a good 120 laps out here tonight, Pete. Let's see if we can keep this thing green maybe the whole time and have a great battle the whole way through.
All right, Greg, so it's a mile and a half, big roulette wheel. You landed on red or black tonight, sir?
Oh, man, I always take red. You always got to go red when you're out in Vegas. I don't know. It seems to be lucky for me whenever I do. Pace car is going to peel off down pit road, and it's going to have the green flag in Barney's hands. That Silverback Tax Solutions green flag is waving here in Vegas.
Absolutely. 97 to bed, cheer all the way down on that throttle. Second gear restart. Seth Berger to his outside. Brian McAvoy, Matt Greathouse, Timothy Latham, your top five. Looks like the 97 is going to let it rip on the bottom.
Yeah, so the battle up front kind of separating between Shearer and Berger, but it's heating up further on back. You got Greathouse and McAvoy going side by side through turns 3 and 4. McAvoy going to try and get the big run off of turn 4 to possibly clear that 51, but Greathouse is not going anywhere. That's his teammate in the 26. Oh, no, excuse me, that's Timothy Latham. They have similar looking red cars, so Latham just watching and seeing what happens, going to go with his teammate here on the outside and follow McAvoy on through.
Yeah, I tell you what, there are three very distinct lines through the corners here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You can go way up high and keep that momentum built up. You can go all the way on the bottom and really get it ripping. But that middle line is kind of like that perfect, proving ground to where you can save a little bit of tire, carry a little bit of momentum, and really save a little bit of gas as well.
Yeah, so move Joseph Causey up into the top 5 now. Greathouse back to 6th. He is already -3 on the evening, but might just be saving his stuff here early on. Knows it's kind of a smaller field than we usually have here on SRN, so could be just saving his stuff, maybe expecting a long run. Corey Saucier to the inside of the 6. That's him going by Politis there to move up into the 9th position. And looks like we have our first yellow flag of the evening, seeing Scott Kalal involved in this one.
Yes, Scott Kalal, but he's actually the only one that I'm seeing so far. It might be a one-car spin. We'll have to see. Let's find out with Sparkle and Shine.
Yeah, the Sparkle and Shine mobile detailing rec replay. We're going to go ahead and check out exactly what happened to this Scott's Quality Lawn Care number 23 out of Phoenix Virtual Racing. Nice and tight here. He's behind his teammate. Just gets loose, gets set big time into the wall. That was a huge hit for the 23.
Yeah, very huge hit for the 23, but a couple of cars might have even gotten a little bit luckier, as I think netcode allowed them to completely pass on through. So that might be, it was only flagging Scott Kalal at the moment, but man, these cars still so impossible to catch, Greg.
Yeah, someone got real lucky there, getting right through the 23. Yeah, I think they were welcoming netcode that time, which you usually don't do, but there you see, unfortunately, that 23 is beat up bad, and he's one of those drivers that is sitting on the cut line, so cannot afford that at all, Pete.
No, not at all. I mean, that car is a good couple feet shorter after both ends, making hard contact with the outside wall. And again, good luck to the guys that were able to continue on. Very unfortunate for Mr. Kalal.
We're going to go ahead and step aside real quick, maybe run 1 or 2 quick commercial breaks, and we'll be right back right before we take the green flag.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing Network. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today, and maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
Silverback Tax Solutions specializes in dealing with IRS tax problems. If you are receiving threatening letters from the IRS, or if the IRS has placed liens or levies on your property, Silverback Tax Solutions can help you find relief. We have worked with hundreds of people to resolve their tax problems. If you're behind on filing your taxes, it's never too late to get on the right track. Silverback Tax Solutions can help with that also. Don't let another night go by where you lose sleep worrying about the IRS or your taxes. Head over to www.silverbacttax.com or call 662-996-4357 and contact an enrolled agent today. We can help you gain peace of mind and deal with those problems for you. Well, you guys did not miss a thing, and we have those pace car lights off. We're about to get this thing back underway, P. It's going to be a good one. We've seen some big movers so far. McAvoy already up 1. Latham up 2 positions to 4th. Causey up 3, up to 5th. We got Sailors up to 7th. He's up 3 on the night. Schaefer up 1 in 8th. And Corey Saucier up 2. So a lot of big movers and a lot of big fallers to this point. Some great action out there on the track.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit further in the back, or you're actually going to find your biggest movers, though. We're talking about Blair Holloman, Josh Siegfried, and Steve Whitmore. So we'll have to see if they continue to march their way to the front. But, Greg, that pace car is making that hard left turn. Next time, yeah, there we go. It looked like he was going to Richard Petty wanting to stay out for one more lap.
It's
Here we go, 97 on the throttle.
It's kind of wild how hard they yanked the wheel down there, but man, that car gets on going when it gets out the way, and we're back green under the Silverback Tax Solutions green flag, and that is Shearer getting off to another good start. Seth Berger trying to keep up off of 2, but man, that 97 looks real fast right now.
Yeah, 97, he's been able to really get on a throttle very, very quick, and it's allowed Seth Berger to find that bottom line and drop right in. That's why these guys, they started 1-2, they continue to run 1-2, but Timothy Latham in that Raise Energy number 5 up 3 spots to P3. Joseph Causey up 4, Brian McAvoy back 1. That's your top 5.
Yeah, riding on board Seth Berger. This is the look out his windshield right now, just unable to gain any ground on that 97, and it's a track where they're kind of full throttle for a good portion of it, maybe lifting a little bit here on entry, but he gets a good roll through the center, and you just see how much ground he makes up. 24 might have something for the 97. We'll see.
Yeah, if he doesn't burn up his right sides, especially the right front. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. But you can see the line that he's taking, Greg. It's that half bottom, half middle line with a little bit of draft off that 97. And he's got Timothy Latham, filling up his rear view. Knows that he's got to go, but there is momentum all the way around this track.
Well, Seth Berger, Joseph Causey, Reese Schaefer, that makes 3 tank racing cars sitting here in the top 5 with Berger up in 2nd, Causey 4th, Schaefer in 5th. So these Ford Mustangs out of Tank Racing looking very racy here tonight, and are going to be looking to maybe come away with a very good result like we've been seeing them do all season long. So Brad Herman working to the outside of Robert Norfleet here in the 56 for Garrett Motorsports. Brad Herman up 2 positions on the night after starting 13th, running real good so far for that TJ's Team Foundation number 85.
Yeah, I tell you, Brad Herman, I've been kind of keeping an eye on him. Every now and then I'll pop in and I'll spot for him during the truck races and whatnot. He's just a phenomenal driver and always has been, going back to the console days even.
Yeah, so he's still looking to pick up some spots, though, but still in a battle here with the 56 as Norfleet trying to pick it back up and move up. This is for 11th place, so one of the only battles we're seeing happen on the track. It's for the outside spot on the top 10, so he's going to be looking up to pick up some more with Michael Politis just in front of him. Jeremy Little there in the 26, and then Saucier and Jordan Saylor's not too far ahead, so a few cars here could be big for that 85's chances here as we head towards the playoffs.
Yeah, 85, he's pretty much decided he's going to stay to the outside, and if he can get the run off the corner instead of the 6 popping up and taking his momentum, I think the 85 probably be able to clear both the 6 and the 56, as it looks like he's got another big run coming off.
Oh, we're going to go 3 wide down the front stretch, crossing the line. Who's it going to be? Norfleet's going to pass his teammate there in the 6th. They're both going to go past him. Move Politis back in the 12th position. That puts Norfleet in 10th. Slowly coming out of turn 2. Brad Herman going to have a big run there to the outside. It's still a drag race for this 10th position.
Yeah, 85-56. They decide they're going to duel it out amongst themselves, leaving the 6 about a good 2 to 2.5 car lengths behind. Now the 85's got the 26 straight ahead. He's going to take him 3 wide again.
Yeah, well, it's a nice battle up front through the top 6, all within a second of each other. They're pulling away from these guys back here as it's a very hard-fought battle for each one of these positions. You slip up, you could lose a good 3 or 4 spots to each one of these guys, minding their P's and Q's. But right now, Norfleet to the inside of Jeremy Little. This is the battle for 9th.
Yeah, 26 the outside. Now you got the 56. Brad Herman checked up just a second. I guess he thought 3 wide through the tri-oval 1 lap was just enough. Going to let his tires cool off a little bit. No need to push. Already up 2 spots from where he qualified. Pretty close right with Robert Norfleet, Jeremy Little, and Michael Politis as well.
Yeah, so back out in front, Shearer still in the lead of this thing, but now a newcomer there in second. Joseph Causey has quickly moved on up through the field, now sits 1 spot out of the point and is very close to the bumper of the 97 Chevy Camaro driven by his former teammate Ed Shearer. And now that puts Reese Schaefer there in 3rd as well. Seth Berger now moving back to 5th. These Tank Racing boys are showing up here, and it's going to be a battle for this lead.
Yeah, last week Ed Shearer said he wasn't too happy with himself leaving Tank Racing, and he sees all these guys right in his rear view teaming up on him. I'm sure he's not liking it. Joseph Causey is fast, and he's a ton of fun to talk with after the race. But how about Reese Schaefer just dropped back 1, but up 5 spots now from qualifying. Timothy Latham up 3. These guys, this top 6. Absolutely pulling away, Greg.
Yeah, Timothy Latham having a good run up through the field, but he's going to be up here battling with these guys. He's already there as he's right on the door now. The 88, the battle for the lead heating up amongst the top 6. Each one of these guys could get it. McAvoy's made up some time. So this pack is getting tighter and tighter. And once they all start battling each other for position, that's only going to bring those cars that we were just watching back in 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. That's going to bring them back up into the mix. And this is going to make for a really great race tonight. Only 20 laps in on this thing.
Yeah, only 20 laps in. I'll tell you what, Timothy Latham, he doesn't have any real loyalties to any of the guys that are up here. He's behind the 88, but every now and then the 88 kind of takes the line away from the 5, and it stalls him out a little bit. He's been a little bit faster coming off the corner than the 88 has, but just hasn't been able to take the run. Is he going to be able to pull the inside here? Nope. He's going to file back in line and just trail right along.
Yeah, so he almost thought about making a move there. Didn't have the runs. Going to have to set it up again. Just trying to figure out where he can crack the code of this 88, maybe pick a weak spot out there on the track. But we know as much as Causey wins, he doesn't have very many weak spots. So he's going to have to make the best of his opportunities when he gets them. So we'll keep an eye on this battle. Let's go ahead, head further on back. This is Lane Hosler to the outside of Justin Smith. This is for 14. We're going to have a few other cars in the mix here. That's Brandon Domain in the number 20 there. And then Blair Holloman in the 06. He's in 17. So the battle in the middle of the pack is heating up as well, as we got about 2x2 action 4 rows deep back here.
Yeah, Brandon Domain, Blair Holloman in that 06. He's on his outside. I'm kind of liking that paint scheme for Brandon. A Ghost Energy, a new, I'm guessing, affiliate for Brandon. And a lot of action back here in this Hornet's Nest.
It's making me hungry, Pete. I love Sour Patch Kids. And, I mean, he's got the good color on there, too. The blue Sour Patch Kids. So Brandon looking good out there. Running really good as well. He's up 6 from where he started on the night in 23rd, up to 17. So, hey, I talked to him last week about it. Said he had a great time out there on the track in the Cup Series at Auto Club, and might be considering a Cup run down the road. Who knows? We'll see as time goes on. But right now, running good back here in the middle of the pack. It's Blair Holloman moving up, though, through the field and going on by the 28 of Lane Hosler now. Blair up 10 positions from where he started, and currently our butt kicker, Hard Charger.
Yeah, continuing to really just try to follow that 0-6 as I'm sorry, the 0, hold on. Yeah, let's just talk about that, Greg. So he's continuing to follow the 61 to scratch that as he continues to march his way through on the high side. Again, showing the draft, showing the momentum, showing the different grooves the way around Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Well, back
I will
up
get
front.
it, I promise.
Yeah, I knew you would spit it out eventually, Pete. You always do. But right now, Shearer starting to spit out a few car lengths, a gap behind him. He's got about 2 or 3 car lengths between him and Joseph Causey, starting to split up a little bit more, too, behind Causey to Latham. So a few of these guys starting to fall off maybe a little bit, or might just be saving it. Like I said, this race has every means of going green the whole way. Now, we've already had one caution tonight, but a smaller field than we're used to here on SRN could lead to some clean racing, so maybe these guys starting to save their stuff a little more than they usually do.
Yeah, I'm actually really impressed with the 97. He has stayed committed to the bottom side in 1 and 2 as well as 3 and 4, and only really letting it wash up to the wall to not scrub off any speed. So I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of wondering if there's something to the line that he's running.
Well, Josh Siegfried picking up another spot over his teammate there. He's up to 16th at plus 10 on the night as well, and battling with Blair Holloman, who we just named the butt kicker Hard Charger. I'll take it away from him and give it to Josh Siegfried now. He is currently the butt kicker Hard Charger, and I know Brooke Lemke out there in the chat will be excited to see that, always cheering on the 60 of Josh Siegfried. So up to 15th now, looking like he's got a fast car as he's going to make the move to the inside of the 61 now, looking good.
Yeah, Lane Hosler down low, 60 now actually down low. He's going to try to get that pass completed. 0-6 continues to just follow along right in the tire tracks. But yeah, you talk about Brooke Lemke out there in chat. Absolutely says, you got this, no doubt.
Back up front, still holding the same gap between the leaders, Shearer and Causey there in second. Latham just sitting back there waiting maybe for an opportunity to strike and take the lead as well. Further on back, Emerson Ardon with some damage to the right front of that 57. He's one of those drivers needing a good run tonight because, Pete, we'll bring it up right now, the cut line battle heating up, and he's sitting there on the bubble now. 19 points to the good, but a couple of bad finishes piled up together can really end your cause here for making the playoffs. He finished 17th last week at Auto Club, is currently running 21st here tonight. He's going to maybe need to pick up a few more spots if he's going to feel a little safe.
Yeah, not only that, his main competition, Jordan Sailors, right now is up in P7 after qualifying P10. So he's gaining even more points to kind of close up that gap just a little more.
Yeah, so yeah, he's having a great run. Blair Holloman, we just talked about him having a good run to the front, but back in 17th as well, plus 20 on the standings as they are after week 10. So maybe the battle will start heating up a little bit before we go to the week 13, the last week before we can get in the playoffs. So Jeremy Little also running pretty good as well. He's sitting back there in the 9th position. He's in this battle that you're watching right here on the screen in that 26 button box out of Phoenix Virtual Racing. He's also looking to make a splash in these standings.
Yeah, why not? Go for it now. Like you said, only 3 races left before the All-Star race and then the first race in the playoffs. So every point matters, and you'd hate to go back and watch a race or just remember. They say these drivers have the memory of an elephant. They remember everything that happens to them from like years past. They can tell you, Greg, I remember when you wrecked me at Talladega, and we're talking 4 seasons ago. So, yeah, you don't want to have to think back in your file and remember a point that you let go and it cost you a championship or even just a spot to run for one.
Well, we'll see if, yeah.
There you go.
Well, we just saw a good shout out here. That's why I kind of got it thrown off guard. Dutch Rudder shouting out. Great house out here, cheering him on. Minus 22 on the night, Pete. He started up towards the front, fell all the way to the back, and currently still hasn't pit on the night. So I don't know if he got loose and ended up further on back in the pack, but just not having the night he wants. This is another one of those guys that's going to need a good run here in these last couple of weeks to make it all the way to the end. 3 wide, though, between, it looks like, Connor Cunningham and Emerson Ardon right there.
Yeah, I actually got a chance to talk to Connor Cunningham after last week's top 10 finish, and he said, man, I could not have been happier. I just really tried to keep it clean, tried to stay out of everybody's way, and came home with a great finish to introduce himself to SRN.
Yeah, I mean, this first Cup Series race definitely showed up and at a tough track. I mean, we saw everybody having the trouble that they did last week at Auto Club and came away with a top 10 in a hard-fought battle out there in Fontana. Kudos to him, but actually seeing that that's AJ Pritchett in the 33 here tonight. So that car always changing now ever since Devin Zimmerman unfortunately had to call it quits here this season, kind of cycling through tank racing drivers. And seeing from Rob Yost that Greathouse got sent to the rear for blanking. So the 51 having to move his way back up to the front the hard way. So yeah, tough break there for Greathouse. Thanks for the update, Rob. Right now, though, battle between tank racing teammates Reese Schaefer and Seth Berger. This is for 4th.
Yeah, moving all the way back up front. Again, you see Timothy Latham behind the 88, the 17, and the 24. Greg, I still got my eye on that 17 to go ahead and knock it out of the park tonight. I think at the end, he's going to be the one standing on stage with those showgirls, singing along with Wayne Newton and having a big old blast here in Las Vegas.
Nobody told me there's showgirls here on iRacing. I would have been in this race, man. I would have definitely been out there. No, but I think you're just seeing that Boss Security sponsorship on there. It's been a very winning sponsor here this season. Seems like they've been on a roll lately in any car that they're on. So maybe trying to bring some good luck Reese Schaefer's way. So he is going to hold on to that 4th place position. Seth Berger not wanting to give up too much, though. Battling, but battling cleanly, which is what you want to do when you're teammates.
Absolutely. 24 might have cut him a little bit of slack right there, but at the same time, 17 was a groove up. Again and again and again, Greg, all kinds of different lines around Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 17 trying to hold up right there in the draft of the 5 as they again go down the Nella straightaway.
Yeah, just saw the battle there between Jeremy Little and Corey Saucier. Saucier going to lose a couple positions here on this round of laps as Norfleet now going on by on the outside. Jordan Saylor is going to go by too. I believe he just lost a good 4 positions there from just a train going by there on the outside lane. You're right. It just promotes a lot of lanes here at Las Vegas, something that we saw last week at Auto Club was iRacing doing a great job of integrating that multi-groove racing here so far, really proving to be some great racing here in season 3 through 11 weeks. So yeah, got to appreciate iRacing for doing that.
Yeah, so not only is it the multi-groove, but you got the draft as well. You just saw it, firsthand. One car got stuck down low, the other 4 right on by on the outside, all kind of working together, but maybe not on purpose.
Well, nobody has pitted to this point except a few of the guys out there: David Duke, Kyle Ryan, Byron McDonald, Bobby Anderson, Zach Deutscher, and John Holliday. Those are the 6 drivers who have pitted at this point of the race. They pitted on lap 4, though. Now crossing the stripe to start lap number 40. You got to think, Pete, that this is a 2-stop race and that this window is opening up now.
I tell you, we're a third of the way through lap 40 of 120, and where have we seen this tandem before, Greg? 97 to 88 or vice versa. These two, even though they're no longer teammates, they still can really work very well together.
Yeah, just, you mentioned the 97. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at Ed Shearer on the season. Last week we took a look at Joseph Causey on the driver's spotlight here. Ed Shearer in the 97, 281 points to his name, 2 wins, 5 top 5s, an average finish of 7.6, and led 201 laps through 10 races on the season. Great stats to this point, proven to be maybe another win here tonight, having a great run, adding to all these totals potentially here on the evening.
I'll tell you what, and he's been out front all 41 laps tonight. So when it's all said and done so far, I believe he will be over 250 laps when we get past this and we update everything before next week's race.
Yeah, so this has been the class of the field, your top two right here pretty much to this point of the season, not to shy away from Timothy Latham back there, who had a good run the last couple of weeks, picking up back-to-back wins, but has kind of fizzled out. He's running third, but losing time here in the later part of this run. But these two guys have been dominant the whole season, running up front in each and every race and doing just that again here tonight. And the battle between them is really close now. Looks like Causey going to possibly try to run a different lane to get a nose to the inside of that 97. He might have a good run down the backstretch as they head towards turn 3.
Yeah, so 97 able to hold off the 88, but Seth Berger and Timothy Latham was not able to hold off the 24, moves Seth Berger up to P3, Timothy Latham back to P4, Reese Schaefer still staying put at P5, so a swap for P3.
Good eye back there, Pete, because I did not see that battle, and you're right, Seth Berger moving ahead of that 5 out of Gear Up Motorsports. Maybe hearing some chatter that we're going to see some pits picking up here in the next couple of laps, but not taking my eyes off the leaders. Want to see which one of these guys potentially bites first, and neither of them coming down this time. Looks like nobody really opting to come down this time by, Pete.
Not at all, but and I'll tell you what, as close as these two up front are, Greg, it's going to be completely about who is the most aggressive getting to pit road, who doesn't get a black flag, who gets into their pit stop and stops right under that pit road sign and gets off pit road the fastest. There's a whole lot to one of these pit road dances, as it looks like 88 might have been trying to look to the inside. 97 comes on down, slams the door shut, leads another lap.
Yeah, we had another dance there for the lead there. I was going to mention a good segue as we got Josh Siegfried now coming down pit road. Just Justin Smith, his teammate, coming down on behind him here in the 28. So maybe opening up now, as we said, it couldn't be long, because this is definitely shaping up to be a 2-stop race here. So just seeing when these leaders, maybe Shearer thinking about it more and more now, knowing that 88 is faster than him maybe through some portions of this track. Causey had a good run there, but unable to complete the pass, as you see the 97 just blank out completely right there. I think he's gone.
Boy.
I think he's out of this race.
I think you may be right. Yeah, Ed Shearer, he's falling through the field in the actual standings. Very, very unfortunate. Now the 88 does not have...
Oh, there he is.
No, he's actually back.
What?
He is back.
Wow.
And coming down pit road.
Yeah, he's going to need to get that fixed. I thought for sure the way he dropped down the standings like that he would have been out of this thing. But all the leaders coming down, Causey, Latham, Little, McAvoy, Sailors, Hosler, Whitmore, Pritchett, all coming down this time. Seth Berger still out on track.
Yeah, Seth Berger inherits the lead with Reese Schaefer right now, P2, David Duke, Corey Saucier, and Michael Politis. That's going to be your new top 5. Kyle Ryan, Taylor Locklear, Bobby Anderson, Doc Holliday, and Brian McAvoy also down pit road, but still in P10.
Well, there's Seth Berger coming down. Reese Schaefer going to come on down behind him. Going to hand the lead on over to David Duke now. So the 78 out in front of this thing. A really cool paint scheme. Me and David kind of have a thing in common when it comes to drag racing. We both have been bracket racers at some point in our life, and this is a throwback paint scheme to one of his drag cars, I think. So really cool paint scheme out here tonight, and so far has it at the point up front here.
Yeah, not a bad-looking 78 at all. Kurtz Automotive. At first, before you said anything about that, I thought maybe it was kind of a Hot Wheels throwback, personally. But, man, it's a nice-looking car.
It is. It looks even better when it's out in front. So Doc Holliday coming down the pits now. So that leaves only our top 2 left to pit here. David Duke, Kyle Ryan still out there on the track. We'll see if Duke comes down this time to pit on lap number 50. He says, nope, I'm staying out.
Yeah, but it looks like the 91 glitch machine. He's going to bring that Camaro down pit road, trying to get woed up and slowed up before he gets to the commitment line. Looks like he's going to be able to. So now the sole guy out there, not number 78 Camaro for David Duke.
Dutch Rudder out there in the chat asking, is the undercut strong on this track with the early hitters? I would say it has its strengths at any track, but this one I don't think it's going to pay off as much as other tracks per se. It's just one of those tracks that was mostly throttle based in the turns. I don't think your tires are really going to slow you up as much as you would maybe an auto club with a bigger 2-mile oval or something like that, Pete.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And the way that we've watched the 97 of Shearer really wrap the bottom for the entire race so far and really didn't fall off that much, led every lap, kept the 88 at bay, and pulled away from the rest of the field, I think you're 100% right.
Well, unfortunately, you just saw the message right there. Shearer has officially been disconnected. His night is done there in the 97. And this one right now, just the 88 show. It was a great battle for the lead, and unfortunately some internet problems has made this a one-car race out in front because Causey's got a good 4.5-second gap between him and the 5 of Timothy Latham.
Yeah, if Timothy Latham is going to continue the streak of great runs that he's had, he's really going to have to get that pedal to the metal and get pedaling. So Seth Berger right now sitting in P3, Robert Norfleet, Brad Herman and my pick Reese Schaefer back to 6th, well over 7 seconds behind our leader.
Seeing Sean Griffith in the chat saying Shearer's back now. He's just 3 laps down, and yep, you're exactly right. There he is out there in 27th position. Man, that is a tough break, a tough pill to swallow. Go back out there. Still a long time left in this race, though. 77 laps to go. So maybe if he gets a few string of cautions here, hey, he still could get his laps back. And that is a bad, fast hot rod there in the 97, so not counting him out by any means yet.
Yeah, the only thing is, Greg, and you mentioned it a couple times tonight, this is it's a 29-car field, a little bit smaller than what we typically see. So with the guys getting very spread out as the race has gone on, and usually pit stops, they kind of help that a little bit because of the time on, time off, and the pit actual duration itself. It's not looking too good for the 97, but he has shown to be and run some of the fastest laps of the field.
Well, Pete, in just a few weeks, we're going to have the SRN All-Star Race back out here again. We didn't have it last season. Bringing it back here for season number 3, of course, because I'm not racing anymore. I just think Sean didn't want to have to go pick me here again, but no, we're going to have it, and it's going to be on June 11th and 12th. That's going to be the heat race and the main race, with Friday, June 10th, 9 p.m. being the draft show. It's going to be an absolute blast. We got 4 teams out there picking amongst each and every one of the drivers here on SRN, and we're going to do a random draw of car and track, so we don't even know where we're going at this point. We just know we're having one, Pete. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I absolutely can't wait. You and the other admins and me and Kurt Schwarzworth, Kansas Gaming 51, talking about, hey, we got a caution on track that's going to help the 97, but we were talking about the All-Star race earlier. All kinds of ideas being thrown at the board. We'll have to see which one sticks when the time comes to it.
Yeah, and I've seen some of the ideas, and they are good, so definitely tune in for that. Put it on the calendar. We're going to have some fun when the time comes. But checking out Ed Shearer here involved in this one. Oh, hit the wrong button there, Pete. Whoops. That's the one we wanted. To the inside there. Trying to see who that was, but that was really bad net code. I believe that's the 9 of Doc Holliday. So big time damage for both of those. I think 97, though, getting the bigger hit there out of the 2.
Yeah, 97 just kind of continued to wash up. I don't know if Doc had anywhere to go. He couldn't go much higher. Yeah, 91 or 97 just coming on up to try to get a great arc into the turn. I don't know if he actually knew that he was still there. Maybe thought he was clear.
I think we're going to see some really bad go a little bit there, but I think they were going to collide either way.
Yeah.
With the way the 97 was coming up there, and yeah, big time hit for both of those drivers. So back out there on the track, they're going to be spending some time on pit road to get those things fixed, but all the leaders coming down pit road to get 4 tires and fuel here at Vegas.
Absolutely, and what's really bad is because the 97 was actually part of the caution. Even if he was the lucky dog, he would not get his lap back. So very unfortunate, kind of double fold for him.
Well, as pit row is pretty busy, we're going to go ahead and take a break here on SRN, run a quick commercial break, and we will be right back in just a few moments.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Silverback Tax Solutions specializes in dealing with IRS tax problems. If you are receiving threatening letters from the IRS, or if the IRS has placed liens or levies on your property, Silverback Tax Solutions can help you find relief. We have worked with hundreds of people to resolve their tax problems. If you're behind on filing your taxes, it's never too late to get on the right track. Silverback Tax Solutions can help with that also. Don't let another night go by where you lose sleep worrying about the IRS or your taxes. Head over to www.silverbacttax.com or call 662-996-4357 and contact an enrolled agent today. We can help you gain peace of mind and deal with those problems for you.
Want to be a part of an established league on iRacing? A league that's competitive, fun, and above all fair? Look no further than Speed Racing Network. Originally known as Mid-South Madness, SRN has evolved into a league that can bring the best out in any given driver. Drivers work their way up through the ranks to hopefully one day call themselves a champion of Speed Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, don't hesitate to reach out to league admins to claim your spot today. Maybe you'll end up in the history books. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor in Speed Racing Network, feel free to head over to www.speedracingnetwork.com and reach out to an admin today. And as always, remember to go faster.
All right, pace car lights still on, so a lengthy second caution of the night, but coming to the stripe, we'll see those pace car lights turn off, and we'll be officially halfway through this race. Been a quick one to this point. A lot of green flag action out there, Pete, but a good one. A lot of great battles to this point.
Yeah, we had a very, very quick caution on lap 4 when all green. Since then, got through green flag round of pit stops. Second caution flew after Ed Sheeran and Doc Holliday made a bit of contact going into turn 1. Right now, working lap 61. Pace car lights are out. Greg, we are halfway at Vegas.
Yes, we are. And yeah, they're going to go side by side all the way on through the field and get ready to get this thing going. And I have to imagine this battle is going to be really good up front between Causey and Latham. But before we get to that point, let's go ahead and talk about the upcoming schedule. Going to be out of Iowa next week, Pete. A little bit of a different track that we have not run here ever on Speed Racing Network. Kansas Speedway going to round out the regular season. So 2 races left after this one to get your spot in the playoffs. And then there you can see the complete first round. Going to be Texas, Charlotte, and Michigan. That's a look at your next 5 weeks. Some really good tracks. Going to be some great racing here in the SRN Cup Series.
Yeah, Iowa and Kansas coming up to it. Texas, Charlotte, and Michigan Different kinds of tracks, different styles of driving that you have to tackle each track with. It's going to be a lot of fun. Pace car's getting ready to pull off. We're about to have a phenomenal restart here, Greg.
Yeah, this is going to be really fun once we get this thing going, and it is back going. That's Silverback Tax Solutions. Green flag is out. You saw the 88 kind of get off to a little bit of a shaky start, spun the tires a little bit, but nonetheless gets a good jump on Latham. He's going to bring his teammate Seth Berger along with him. It's going to be top 2 tank racing cars.
Yeah, Timothy Latham, it looks like he's going to stay in that middle groove, kind of keep that 24 honest. 24 slid up in front of him, but here comes the 5 of Timothy Latham, diving to the inside, side by side for P2.
Yeah, side by side, it is getting really close. Got to be careful not to make contact off the turns. You want to use a little more real estate than you actually can sometimes, and that's where we could see some people getting into trouble. Some trouble back here, though. Jeremy Little through the grass. I believe that was AJ Pritchett as well there in the 33. No caution, though. It's going to stay green out on the track. And Joseph Causey heading towards turn 3. These guys should be cleared out of the way by the time he gets back.
Absolutely, yeah. That button box is number 26. Had to downshift and come on back up again, but it looks like he's going to be able to keep rolling. We're going to stay green.
Yeah, so the look back from Causey looking real good from his standpoint, up to an 0.8 of a second gap between him and the 5 of Latham. Not sure what happened to the 24 of Seth Berger, but he was up to second, now back in 5th place now. So not sure if he got loose on these new set of tires, as it takes some laps to get some heat in them. Could be very difficult before you get that air pressure up in these tires. It could be very loose in these Cup cars. So it looks like he's settling back here in 5th, but not where we left off. He was up in 2nd.
Yeah, and I tell you what, if you're Joseph Causey, you love to watch the battle that you saw between the 5 and the 24 in your rear view, because as they continue to run side by side, they're not, when you do that, you cannot run your line. You can't get in the throttle if you're the car on the bottom. You can't exactly get down if you're the car up top, and it stalls out everything that you're trying to do when you're trying to keep up with the leader. So the 88 already with a very, very good lead. We're talking almost just about a second lead over Timothy Latham, P2, and Robert Norfleet now up 9 spots to take P3. But how about David Duke back there in P number 7, up 13 spots, right along with Kyle Ryan and Joshua Siegfried. A lot of movers and shakers tonight.
Yeah, and he's one of those drivers that we saw on that cut line battle. We'll take a look at it again. He's down there 22 points back, sitting in the 19th position. So sees the troubles that Jeremy Little's had, as that was one of the drivers that was on the infield there the last few or so laps. And, yeah, he sees Jordan Saylor's having a good run, needs to keep pace with him. And then Emerson Ardon back in 19th, now back in 20th, actually. So he's not having the best of runs here tonight. David Duke knowing he needs to take advantage of this opportunity, doing a great job so far here tonight.
You know, we've all got those tracks that you're very, very comfortable with. You know when it's on the schedule, like, yeah, man, I got that. I have a feeling David Duke felt that way about Las Vegas as he was getting strapped in tonight.
Well, Josh Siegfried here in 12th, up 14 on the night. He is still currently our butt kicker, hard charger on the evening, having a great run up towards the front. That Phoenix Virtual Racing number 60 Chevy Camaro. So I know his fans out there in the chat will be real excited. Currently battling the 8 there of Byron McDonald.
Hey, what, Greg? I'm getting a kind of a Dale Jr. Gray Ghost vibe out of that number 60 for Joshua Siegfried. That's a nice looking Phoenix Virtual Racing Camaro.
It is pretty good looking better as it moves up towards the front too. Reese Schaefer moving up towards the front, still in 4th place. Corey Saucier, though, having a great battle with this number 17 Boss Security Ford Mustang. Saucier looking to have another great finish. Has really been picking up some momentum here towards the end of the regular season, trying to solidify his spot in the playoffs. Corey doing a great job of that, having a good run, up 6 from where he started. So got a little bit of a distance between him and David Duke and Seth Berger on back there. That's going to be the battle for 6. That's heating up now as David Duke takes a look to the inside.
Yeah, David Duke looking to the inside, 24 stuck to the outside. 24 was not a big fan of that outside line when him and the 5 were racing side by side just like this. But one guy that is kind of liking it's going to be the 85 of Brad Herman right behind these two. Anytime you can catch a draft and be able to stay right with them, we talked about cars getting stuck in one line or the other. Right now it's 78. It could be the odd man out if the 85 can get on up and push the 24 by.
Well, a great battle as they exit turn number 4. Still side by side. The 78 just can't get the momentum he needs to complete that pass. Turning lap number 72 now. He's going to tuck back on in behind him, and try and pick another spot where he could potentially make a move here on the 24. He's feeling fast out there. I see people out there in the chat saying David Duke was definitely keeping his eye on this race and looking like it with how fast that 78 is out here tonight. So we'll keep an eye on this battle as it continues to heat up, and the one just behind them still heating up too. That's Brad Herman, followed closely by the 55 of Jordan Sailors.
Tell you what, that 78 is all but filling up the rearview mirror of that 24, diving down low. Last time through 1 and 2, he actually had his left sides on the line, maybe even a little bit below, and got one hell of a run off the corner. Still side by side, as you now see the 85 and 55 side by side right behind him. This 2 rows look like they just went green.
Yeah, it's great battles from 6th on to back to 9th here. No telling who's going to get them because all 4 of these cars looking real fast. Then you got Brian McAvoy sitting there in 10th in the 79. He's shown his speed here tonight, just kind of waiting for things to play out as they got real close there off the exit of 2 and headed down the Nella straightaway into turn number 3. Still nobody given here.
Yeah, there's no give, no take. You don't want to give any points up. We're 75 laps into this 120-lap race. You cannot afford to give any points away. Greg, we mentioned it before. We are 3 races away before the All-Star race and then the playoffs start. You got to go. It is go time in the season.
Playoffs? Sorry, B, I had to do it. We're getting to that point. And you're right. It is time to think about the playoffs. So I left you speechless with that one, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm funny every now and then, and I appreciate the laughs, Pete. But yeah, it's getting crunch time. I like to use that word because it means it's time to go, and you got to get every point that you can. And these last 3 races are going to be tough. David Duke getting really close to Seth Berger. Jordan Sailors thinking about taking it 3 wide, thinks better of it as the 85 and the 78 now battling side by side.
Yeah, 85 up on the outside of the 78. He has been proving all night long that that high side can work, getting around the 78 with all kinds of momentum, pulling up behind the 24. 55 is going to try the line on the bottom. 78 saw the high side work, and he's going to move on up there, side by side, very, very tight, coming off too.
Yeah, got to be careful there, and it could be kind of a helpless feeling when you start to see 1 car go by, 2 cars, now a 3rd car trying to make his way by. You pick up all these positions, and then it starts to slip away. It could be a real long 40 laps, to the end of this one. My math is not on point tonight, Pete, and it is on full display for everybody out there.
I tell you what, 79 of Brian McAvoy, he has been watching everybody's lines, whether they were on the bottom side, on the high side, middle line, whichever, and just been going to school with everybody. And while that's been going on, Michael Politis, he's been able to pull himself into the fray as well. Got a nice little train of cars going.
Yeah, so a great battle back here. Not much of a battle up front, though. The 88 of Causey still out to about an 8.5 tenths lead over Timothy Latham there, the 5 out of Gear Up Motorsports. Robert Norfleet also out of Gear Up, having a great run tonight as well. So those 2 teams, the Tank Racing team, Gear Up, both having solid nights. And like we said, those top 2 seeds going to get buys in the first round, which is going to be big time when it comes playoff time. So yeah, doing a great job holding on to those spots.
I tell you what, one of the biggest compliments that could be given, just posted out there in chat. Filthy Five Motorsports. Awesome to see just how much these guys trust each other. All of them comfortable racing around each other. Doesn't happen too often. Greg, you and I have been around leagues and communities long enough to completely agree with that statement.
Yeah, Pete, I would trust you with a trust fall. Let's do it. Let's set it up right now. That's how much I trust you. We all trust each other. We race with each other every week. We've known each other for a few years now. A lot of these guys have been here from the beginning, and it really shows. So, yeah, you're right, Filthy Five. It's a great thing to see, and it's something we do see along all three of our series. So I think it's going to be a great week out here in Las Vegas, a really fun 1.5 mile speedway, and it's going to be a great action as it's going to start to heat up. And David Duke coming down pit road here, making potentially his final stop as that window has opened up to get to the end.
Yep, working lap 82 of 120. Definitely saw him peel off down. Really slid it coming off the track. Either that or it was one hell of a save to keep the car from going around. And Greg, this battle back here between the 06 and the 79, as well as the 6 of Politis, absolutely heating up as well.
Yeah, so McAvoy there on the inside of the 06. Blair Hallman, one of those drivers that we said is technically on the cut line, 20 points to the good, is along in this battle as well. So actually Blair Hallman is a lap down. He's out in 22nd, so not sure what happened to him. But unfortunately, he is going to be trying to get his lap back. He is the first car one lap down, so he's going to be needing a caution to possibly pick up a few spots out there and get up further towards the front because, like I said, 20 points to the good. Not safe by any means with 3 weeks left to go. So that battle kind of fizzling out here. Maybe one back here with Bobby Anderson to the inside of his teammate there, Byron McDonald. So move Bobby up to 13.
Yeah, Bobby P13 up 11 spots. Right ahead of him, Joshua Siegfried in that number 60, still up 14 spots. And if I'm not mistaken, he does have that butt kicker hard charger award to his name, sitting P12. Pretty good run for that 60 tonight.
Yeah, riding on board. Brandon Domain here is currently in 15th. He's riding behind this big gaggle of cars. That's from a 10th on back here. So Byron McDonald there in front of him in 14th, having a good run here this evening. But Brandon just kind of taking it easy, letting these guys battle it out and just picking up as many notes as he can before his Xfinity Series race on Thursday. I think he's just getting as many notes for the broadcast tomorrow that we'll have for the Truck Series race, Pete.
Yeah, he'll have a lot of great notes, knowing just how many laps you need to kind of take it easy on the restart, so you don't get loose. How many laps it takes for the tires to kind of equal out, maybe come up to temperature. How many laps it takes for everything to get a little neutral. So yeah, he is going to have a lot of great notes for tomorrow night's truck race right back here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I might just let him do the whole show. I mean, he's going to know everything out there. It might just be the Brandon Domain show tomorrow night at 9:10 p.m. Eastern time. Just kidding. I will be out there with him. It's going to be a good time. The Truck Series race has really put on some great races here this season, but still got 33 laps left in this one, and it has been a great show. You see the distance there on back from our leader, Causey, to Timothy Latham there in second, about 1.4 seconds separating the two. And if they're going to make something happen here with the 5 and the 56 being teammates, it's probably now or never, considering we're running out of laps to maybe possibly try and short pit this 88, and that might be the only way they can get out front of this guy.
You know, what's funny or interesting, I should say, not funny, is when the 88 and the 97 were working with each other, they were pulling away. Right now, we've been watching the 5 and the 56 lap after lap. They really haven't gained that much time. In fact, the last time I looked at the lead that Joseph Causey had is at 1.4. Now it's at 1.6. So he continues to extend that lead, even though you've got a couple teammates behind trying to make up time, but they're just not doing it.
Yeah, so you got Causey, Latham, Norfleet, Saucier now up to 4th, 3 Schaefer, and 5th. That's going to be your top 5 here through 89 laps, and it's going to be time for pit stops here. I have to imagine David Duke is loving what he's seeing. No takers yet after he came down on lap 82. So he's picking up some big time right now on these leaders. Going to have a big gap, potentially be out in front of this thing once it does cycle through if we do get another round of green flag pit stops.
It really looks like it, because if David Duke came on down, he's going to do it because he's going to want those 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods. Go ahead and fill it up or top it off, depending on how many laps these guys can go on a full tank. So is the 88 and company really just waiting to see if somebody else goes down earlier than expected, trying to gain a little bit of speed with those tires, or do we get it? Will that cause a caution, as it looks like the 51 is also on pit road?
Yeah, 51's on pit road. I'm seeing Jordan Saylor is on pit road as well.
Here we go.
Lane Hosler also down pit road. So I think it's going to be picking up here in the next couple of laps, and some people are going to be forced. Their hands will be forced here, because you can't stay out too long. You're going to lose time. You're going to lose laps to maybe run these guys back down on those fresher tires. So it really comes into full circle whenever you do pit. It matters really as probably as much as it possibly could here towards the end, because you got to pick it at the right moment to come away with this win here tonight. So Causey's still opting to stay out here. He's looking at possibly putting Jeremy Little a lap down now. He's in 17th. It's going to go right on by that damaged number 26. So Causey, we'll see if he comes down this time as he goes by turn number 4.
Yeah, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, definitely a very aero-dependent track, and that 26 very embattled on the front end. I'm sure he's not carrying much speed on the straightaways. He's going to be all right in the turns, but that's about the only spot.
Josh Siegfried coming down pit road. He's going to pit from 14th position, and will get his 4 tires and fuel to get him to the end of this one. So only him coming down this time by. So maybe these guys maybe opting to stay out as long as they can, maybe get a lucky caution. Always an option as well. It's really hard to decide what you want to do, especially while you're out there in the middle of a 120-lap race.
Yeah, I've kind of gone through Joseph Causey all the way back to Seth Berger and Brian McAvoy. A little bit of distance between all those guys, and none of them really going through team comms saying, pitting next time by or whichever. 88 still staying out to lead ever more laps. Great job by him, and now 2.15s over Timothy Latham, P2. So it's still extending that lead.
Yeah, doing a great job, and just have a hard time believing anybody's going to top this man. He's been on a hellish tear lately, just picking up a win after win here when it matters most. The momentum picking up for this 88 as we get ever so close to the start of the playoffs. He is going to be a very tough man to beat when the time comes. And right now, Latham, Norfleet, Saucier, and Schaefer all trying their best to keep up with him, but just extending that gap by big time now. Each lap up to 2.2 seconds over Latham with 25 to go, Pete. Hashtag go faster.
You stole that from me. I was going to say the 88 is going to come on down pretty soon. Grab those tires, top it off, come on out, and it will be hashtag go faster, go time. We'll have to see if Joseph Causey is going to be able to accept the challenge and pick up another W, or is somebody else going to be able to maybe steal it from him? Someone maybe try 2 tires? Who knows? We'll have to see. Track position and time mean everything.
Yeah, well, that was his teammate Reese Schaefer coming on down pit road. Brandon Domain coming down pit road. It's got some right front damage there on that number 20 Chevy Camaro. So he's going to pit from 8th. That's going to put about 9 cars on the lead lap once Causey goes on by this time. Looks like he's going to still opt to stay out, run this thing to the very end.
Yeah, I got to imagine that he's just saying, you know what, just give me that caution. Give me that caution. The more cars he puts a lap down, those are less people that he's got to worry about coming to the finish, getting closer and closer to 20 to go. Many people have now pit. You guys out there in chat can see the scoring pylon on the left-hand side. Only the top 9 on pit road, with Norfleet and McAvoy on pit road. So we're about to see just the top 7 as the 88 continues to stay out and going on by.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Timothy Latham, though, looking like he's going to come on down pit road this time. He's going to pit from the 3rd position. Looking like his teammate Michael Plight is going to opt to stay out as well. So, yeah, it's just at some point I have to imagine Causey is going to have to come down pit road. These guys are going to be picking up time. 22 laps to go. He's running out of time to make up any time lost to these fresher tires. So, really curious to see how this works out for the 78 of David Duke, who started this round of pit stops. But, yeah, you're right. Here comes Joseph Causey on down pit road, followed by Corey Saucier. And Seth Berger going to opt to stay out and take the lead. 21 to go here in Vegas.
Absolutely. Seth Berger put that 24 Flood Brothers machine into the clean air with Michael Politis right behind, Kyle Ryan, Steve Whitmore, and Joseph Causey sitting P5, even though on pit road.
Next car behind Seth Berger being David Duke. He's going to unlap himself potentially here in the next lap or so with how much faster he is than these older tires. So you just see him getting a big run down the front straightaway. Seth Berger opting to stay out. 20 laps to go in this one. The only 4 yet to pit being Seth Berger, Michael Politis, Kyle Ryan, and Steve Whitmore. So 4 cars on the lead lap. Anything is possible when you're on iRacing. A lot of these guys maybe throwing a Hail Mary, Pete, to maybe get a lucky caution, running out of laps to do that, though.
It's going to be really, really interesting to see exactly where this 78 and the 88 meet up. 78, once Whitmore, Ryan, Politis, and Berger come on down pit road, it's going to actually hand the lead over to him with Jeremy Little in that 26 and AJ Pritchett, I believe, still the pit, if I'm not mistaken. So, man, this 78 has made up a ton of time.
Yeah, so, yeah, you're exactly right. The 26 and 33 have not pitted. Looking like Duke may have about a 3.5-second lead over Joseph Causey. So with 18 laps to go, going to be tough to keep that gap back to the leader that was Joseph Causey. So it's going to be exciting, but Seth Berger just holding on to this thing as long as he can here. And I just have to imagine there is not much fuel left in that number 24 Flood Brothers Ford Mustang.
No, not much fuel at all. He's going to have to come on down. And with just about everybody done with their pit stop, there's not many shots left in that Ruger to hopefully get that yellow to fly. Barney has not been very generous tonight as the 24 goes on by the start stripe. 17 laps remaining. I don't think he's saved that much.
Steve Whitmore caving. He's going to come on down pit road, pit from the 4th position. And is going to come out not in the top 5, opting to stay out as long as he did. Blair Hallman also coming down, as well as a few other lap down cars. So that's going to leave the top 3 yet to come down pit road. Seth Berger staying out another cycle. That's going to make it 16 laps to go.
Yeah, Michael Politis, Kyle Ryan, David Duke, Joseph Causey, your top 5. So we saw Causey in that 88 really stay out. And I think, I'm almost wondering if staying out that long might almost cost him the race. Greg, we haven't seen a whole lot of wear out of these cars. I'd actually be really, really curious to talk to one of these drivers if the caution comes out anytime soon to see what the wear was like before they changed.
Well, this is the look back from David Duke to Joseph Causey. This is Causey staring down David Duke right here to see how much faster
closing
18 laps is on these tires. He's just going to blow right on by the 78, and Causey will cycle out to the lead once these round of green flag pit stops is over. So move the 88 up in the front. Right now, the 91's still out there on the track. He's the last one yet to pit, and he is going to be out in front of this thing here in Vegas. He's going to come on down this time and hand the lead on over to the 88.
Yeah, Causey, he's going to go back and he's going to watch this race, and he's going to hear what I just said about coming down pit road and being early. Can he catch him? And he's going to, don't you know who I am? That is going to be his response, no doubt, Greg. Great job by Causey to get back up there.
Yeah, so the fastest car of the night naturally cycles back out to the front and is just walking away from this thing as he's got big-time tire difference between him and the 78. So now back on the lead lap and back out in front as they work their way on by the 91 of Kyle Ryan, who was the last to come down pit road. 14 laps to go. We got Causey, Duke, Norfleet, Latham, and Reese Schaefer.
Yeah, with a 1.8, 1.9, and then over a 2-second gap back through the top 5. Pretty sure the 88, all he's got to do is be careful around the lap cars and just continue to hit his marks, and he's going to be just fine. Haven't really seen too many wiggles out of this 88 except for on the restarts, and that's just because he's got that heart and the nerves pumping, ready to roll. And, man, this 88 looks like he's about ready to notch another one.
Well, 78 falling back now. The older tires really not helping his cause through the middle portion of his run. These guys going right on by. This is Reese Schaefer side by side with him and David Duke here. Schaefer trying to move back up into 4th, which is where he was running before this round of green flag pit stop. So Schaefer going to get that position, move the 78 back into 5th. He's still got a pretty big gap, about 2 seconds between him and Corey Saucier. So this could be a big move still for the 78, even though he might not come away with the win tonight.
Yeah, it's still going to be a great points night for him. Great gamble. You got to try something. If you know that you don't have it on speed over the leaders, you have to try something else. Greg, we're in Vegas. You just got to gamble.
Yeah, he certainly gambled. It didn't pay off, but then you just learn from it and you move on, Pete, and that's exactly what the 78 of David Duke is going to do. Still a great night nonetheless, like you said, but this was the last guy to come down pit road from our group of leaders before the round of pit stops started. He's fallen back a little bit, currently up to 12th place, but the freshest tires out there on the track. Still, though, he's got matched tires with him and Michael Politis both coming down on lap 105. Politis having a great run. He's up in 9th place right now, still ahead of that 24.
Yeah, keeping Seth Berger behind, and he's got Brian McAvoy as kind of a little bit of a buffer, as it looks like Seth in the 79 side by side coming through the corner with that Flood Brothers machine down low.
Yeah, those tires feeling really good on that 24 right now with 10 laps to go. He's going to try and make up as much ground as he can. Should make this pass pretty easily with 8-lap fresher tires than the 79. Still struggling to complete the pass. It's only going to hurt his cause, hold him up a little bit as they battle side by side heading down into turn 1.
Heading down to turn 1, just past the start stripe. 9 laps remaining. Greg, we're in the single digits, 24.79, still battling out. You see the, I believe that was the 6, if I'm not mistaken, getting a little loose. Either that or just trying to maybe break the draft. I don't know exactly what that was. It'd be the first time that we've actually seen somebody get that aggressive coming off the corner. Not sure who that was.
Yeah, I think you're right, though. I think it was Politis there in that neon green number 6 further on up, but he's still maintaining his position there in 8th. Moves Seth on up to 10th, though. He completes the pass on Brian McAvoy. Next car ahead of him going to be the 55 of Jordan Saylor. So we'll keep an eye on Seth's quest back up towards the front, but Norfleet and Latham having a battle here for second. Move Norfleet up into P number 2. Looking really good here tonight in that number 56. Good run for him.
Yeah, go to GearUp.com, number 56, Chevy Camaro. And he's got the Rays machine just behind him. Great battle here between these two, but still no competition. 88, he's loving what he sees. Nothing but clean track in front of him. Ready to try to notch a W. Coming to 5 to go next time by.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned go to GearUp.com. They had some seriously amazing shirts rendered up for each one of their cars here on iRacing. Turned out great. Kind of jealous. I kind of want to get one made up for myself now and maybe get a couple of theirs as well. Take a look at them if you can on that website. But want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to Matthew Greathouse, who's just battled his way back up from a bad internet connection tonight. Had to go to the back after starting up towards the front. Getting past right now by 16-lap fresher tires. But nonetheless, man, holding on, making a battle here for 7th and 8th. Matthew Greathouse doing a great run tonight.
Yeah, Matthew Greathouse back 5 spots from where he originally started, back inside the top 10. As you said, sent to the back after some blinking issues, especially in the beginning of the race. You can't have that up front because if it causes a big one, it's just going to be problematic for the field, for the race, for this broadcast and just the overall competition. So a lot of racing with integrity by all, and you gotta give it to the admins. They make the hard calls when they have to.
Yeah, so move Politis up into the 7th position. Greathouse back into 8th, still coming away with a good run tonight. He's got a hard charging Seth Berger coming up on behind him, but still could come away with a top 10 tonight. So back up to that second place battle. Norfleet still maintaining the gap that we left off on between him and Timothy Latham. A good 2.5 tenths gap separated second and third.
Yeah, second and third having a great battle all their own. And you mentioned the words hard charger. David Duke, when he pitted early, right now he is up 14 spots. He's got a pretty good margin back to Bobby Anderson, and only one over right now on Steve Whitmore. Everybody else is 10 or less. So David Duke, if he can hold on, he'll secure tonight's hard charger award.
Yeah, so having a great run might be paying off for him, like we said. It very well could, but 2 laps to go. We'll go up and ride with the man of the hour. Joseph Causey has put on an absolute clinic in that Bergeson Farms number 88. And Pete, we love talking to our buddy Joseph here. Looking like we're going to be doing that tonight.
Yeah, Joseph Causey, if he can go ahead and secure this, not only is he going to be happy in Vegas as he's watching Barney really wave that white with a little bit of extra oomph in that arm. Causey, what else can you say?
Yeah, rounding turns 1 and 2. Nobody around him. You can see the gap there from the starter cam there. He's going to come on down the Nellis straightaway here on the backstretch. Head turn towards number 3 there. Round and turn number 4. It is all Joseph Causey here. He comes away with his 3rd win on the Cup Series season. Congratulations, Joseph.
Absolutely amazing run. It would have been very, very interesting to see what would have happened between him and the 97 had the 97 not had some connection issues about halfway through the race. But you cannot take anything away. This is his TJ's team winning moment. Congratulations, Mr. Causey.
Yeah, so something he is very well used to here on SRN is that TJ's team winning moment. And he's going to get to do some burnouts. Had a little bit extra fuel out there, coming down a lot later than the rest of these guys. Put on a clinic there at the end. Led a bunch of laps and very well deserving of this winning moment. You're exactly right, though. It would have been a great battle if the 97 hadn't had his troubles here tonight. Both of those cars looked very, very strong.
Yeah, back when the 97 was with Tank Racing, these two nose to tail many, many times, many laps, many races. It would have been great, but you know what? Causey's earned this one. It's all about him.
Yeah, so on the side, yeah, Bergeson Farms, because someone has to feed you people, getting all the attention here tonight, along with the rest of Tank Racing's amazing support and their sponsors. Used to sitting in victory lane with this number 88 Ford Mustang. Joseph Causey gets it done here tonight. So I think he is all but done celebrating. He's going to park that thing, get on out, grab a water, and get ready to talk to us here up in the booth. So let's go ahead, pull those results up for you here tonight for race number 11 of 20 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Joseph Causey coming home in first, 3.9 seconds ahead of Robert Norfleet. Timothy Latham rounding out the top 3, so 2 gear up cars in the top 3. Then you got another Tank Racing car, so 2 and 2 there in the top 4 between our 2 top teams in the team championship standings. Rat Pack Racing's Corey Saucier going to round out the top 5.
Yeah, David Duke. So we're talking about 2, 2, and 2. I'm seeing a whole bunch of snake eyes being rolled here at Vegas. And then Michael Politis for Gear Up Motorsports taking P7. Seth Berger with a pretty good rebound in his number 24. Phoenix Virtual Racing's Matt Greathouse, P9. Jordan Sailors also for Rat Pack, rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, so rounding out the top 20 will be Brian McAvoy, Bobby Anderson, Byron McDonald there in 13th, Lane Hosler, and Steve Whitmore in 15th. Then you got Josh Siegfried, Brandon Domain, Kyle Ryan, Brad Herman, and Emerson Ardon. So that's your top 20 tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This one in the books. 2 races to go before we get to the playoffs. So let's go ahead, track down Timothy Latham, bring him on up into the booth. Timothy, it's Greg Olenek and Pete Rusick up here in the SRN broadcast booth. Come home with a 3rd place here tonight. Another solid run for that number 5 out of Gear Up Motorsports. Tell us about your run here at Las Vegas and how you feeling with 2 races left before the playoffs. You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go in the playoffs for sure. Those are a good stretch of tracks for me, so hopefully we can make the best of it. But yeah, had fun tonight. It was a little tight behind traffic there, and different strategies kind of played out how they did. But yeah, I'm glad that I got a 3rd out of that. I don't think I was a 3rd place car, but we brought it home anyway.
Timothy Latham, it's Pete. Great run tonight for that number 5 Raise Energy machine. Definitely saw you trying to get super aggressive, either down low or up high, wherever you were able to get the runs. Phenomenal finish, P3. It's going to serve you right in the points. 3 more races before the All-Star and the playoffs begin. Where do you see yourself when it's all said and done?
At the end of the season, hopefully I can make it to the championship round. I did that last season and got a top 5 in the championship there. So hopefully we can make it there. And then in the All-Star race, I won the last one. So hopefully I can do that again. But I don't want to jinx myself too much here. I know I've said some things over the last couple of weeks, kind of jinxed myself. So I don't say too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure.
A race car driver that's superstitious. Pete, we've never heard of that.
Never.
Oh, wow.
Never.
Timothy, you had a great run here tonight. Congrats once again on the podium finish. Before we let you go, any friends, any sponsors, any shout-outs you want to go ahead and give?
Yeah, of course, my team was great tonight. We all finished really well. So shout out to all those guys for doing really good in practice. They qualified good. They raced good. So all in all, we had a good points night. I want to thank Raise Energy and Gear Up Apparel. Those guys have been on the car the whole year, and they've been a big help with getting this whole program going. Hopefully we got big things going in the future, and thank you guys for putting on a great broadcast every week. It's a hell of a show.
Yeah, we were talking about it, man. Those shirts look great. Might have to get one of the Moo and Brew ones rendered up because they do some fantastic work over there at Gear Up. So congrats again, man. Have fun celebrating with the team. And we're going to go ahead and have a little word with your other teammate, Robert Norfleet, here. So have a good night, man.
You guys too.
All right, Pete. That was Timothy Latham, who came home in the 3rd position tonight. Let's go ahead and bring up Robert Norfleet, who finished P number 2 tonight. Robert, it's Greg Olenek, Pete Rusick up here in the booth. Tell us about that run in that 56, man. Had a really fast hot rod out there. Just couldn't get up to the 88 with these long green flag runs, though.
No, whatever Causey was doing, it was working well. Both the run before the last one, I was behind Latham. We tried to draft up to Causey, and he just had it tonight. So congratulations to him. It was a fun run for us. Come from 12th and stayed out of trouble. Good pit stops and got a 2nd. So needed one more position.
Robert, that you kind of led me right to it. Thank you very much. Yeah, up 10 spots to come on home P number 2. Both you and Timothy Latham able to come home P2 and 3. Not a whole lot of fighting. It seemed like you guys were really working well with each other and trying to catch up to that 88. What more did you need to maybe have a chance?
Well, that's a good question. If I knew, we'd have probably been right there. Causey just had his game up a little better than ours. So I'm not sure what we needed to get there. We tried everything we had.
Well, great run nonetheless. Runner up here tonight. I believe this is your 2nd one on the season. Also had a good run at Atlanta, that came away with you kind of spinning there on the last lap. But that 56 proven to be really fast as we head here towards the playoffs. So before we let you go, Robert, you got any friends, any family, any sponsors you want to give a quick shout out to?
I just tour Team Gear House and the Speed Racing Network and all the guys that do the league. Will allow us to have a good time.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you as well, putting on a great show out there for us here tonight. So congrats once again. We'll see you next week at Iowa.
Thank you. You guys have a good week.
All right, buddy. You too. All right, well, that was our runner-up here tonight. Robert Norfleet coming home in second position. Let's go ahead and bring up the man of the hour. Get Joseph Causey up here in the booth. Joseph, I got to ask you, are you getting tired of talking to us at this point?
Man, I had to call the waitress down and tell them I'm going to take everybody to Applebee's tonight.
Oh!
Wow.
Well, you certainly did just that, man. Put on a clinic out here. Unfortunately, Ed Shearer having some issues. You guys are having a great battle up towards the front. What was your mindset kind of once you saw that happen? Was it smooth sailing? You didn't think anybody else had anything for you?
I seen Latham burn up his tires mid-run. Me and Ed were like keeping a good run. I wasn't trying to put a whole ton of pressure on him to make the pass. I was just waiting for my time for pit stops. Was what I was biding my time for, and then when he blinked out in front of me, and then I was able to get into my pit. I go for broke when it comes to pitting. I'm either gonna hit it on the mark, and I'm gonna be fast in there, or it's gonna be a 40-second hold. So I'm going for broke when in pitting because you lose too much time in pits. So. Yep. That's where it's at.
Yeah, we actually talked about how aggressive you've got to be on pit road because it can mean everything. And when the 97 started blinking out, you guys had really been working well together. Even though you're no longer teammates, we've seen that tandem many times before. He was able to really hold that 97 down on the bottom line while you kind of held it up high to keep the clean air on the front end of that 88. In the end, was the clean air what helped guide that machine to victory?
I think so. Man, clean air was king. Being behind Ed for most of those laps, like if I didn't put my nose out somewhere other than where he was, you just float up to the wall. It made a big difference to have clean air on the nose, and then like the way I was doing it, sometimes I would go enter a little bit higher than him, and then I'd get a great run off. Just because I had that clean air to start with on the nose, and then I could cross back over, and get in his tracks of his air because I've already had the clean air on my nose, which made a big difference. But when I got out front, I just was c'est la vie. It was time to, I was gone.
Yeah, you certainly were gone. We didn't see anybody anywhere close to you. It seemed like most of the night, but man, you were really ripping off some wins, whether it's here in the Cup Series or over in the Xfinity Series. What's it doing for your confidence week in and week out? Is it only helping you when you come to these tracks? And, I mean, you got a race here on Thursday. I mean, you've got to be real confident heading into that one after a performance like tonight.
Yeah, hopefully we'll do good coming in Thursday. I don't see why not. We won't be able to do good. Even though I don't like the Xfinity car as much as this car, I am pretty good here in the Xfinity car at this track for some whatever odd reason, but but we'll hopefully come away with another W Thursday. One of us, hopefully, either me and my teammates, and that's it. We'll hopefully the truck team does good tomorrow too.
I'm sure they will. You guys are doing good all up and down the board. But before we let you go, Joseph, you got any friends, any family, any sponsors you want to give a quick shout out to?
Thank Burleson Farms, we went back to back. Thank Boss Security. Thank Burghards, Kareem Dental, Hunter Don and Stan Anesthesia Associates, Park Brothers Racing, Parkway Lanes, Teespring, Healthcare Billing, EWRL. Thank my spotter, Miz. Thank my teammates. Man, Reese, man, I gave him a new name, Reese Hot Lap Schaefer. So I can't complete with the hot lap, but I try to run in the race. And thank the broadcast guys. You probably put an amazing one on. I'll have to go back and watch.
Well, the old Windows bug struck at first. You couldn't hear anything. So when you're not hearing us at the top of this broadcast, you were warned. But, man, yeah, we appreciate you, as always, Joseph. One of the class acts here in SRN. Coming away with another one, moving up that wins list. I have to imagine you're going to be taking over the lead here all time here shortly if you keep this up. So congrats again. We'll see you on Thursday, and then we'll see you next week here in the Cup Series when we head out to Iowa, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ooh, I'm a jerk, Pete. He was still talking. I thought he was going to be done after saying thank you. Man, I feel terrible now.
He will completely understand. That guy is forever on cloud 9. So, yeah, again, great win, great race all around. Always great to talk to Joseph Causey.
Yeah, and, great to see him having a good time out here and doing big things here in SRN. So he comes away with it tonight for night number 1 here under the lights at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll be out here same time tomorrow. The show starts 9:10 p.m. Eastern Time for Truck Series action right back here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So if you like the show, make sure you go ahead, subscribe now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that little bell so you know any time that we go live. And once again, I mean, we heard some of the drivers allude to it. The All-Star race is coming up in just a few weeks. Make sure you check out the All-Star Draft Show Friday, June 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Speed Racing Network. But that's going to do it for everybody here tonight. For myself, for Pete, and each and every one of the people behind the scenes, we wish you all a good night and go faster.